Well, good day and welcome to this special Burn News Sports Talk with the first female vice president of the Bermuda Cricket Board, Ms. Kellie Smith. Kellie, first of all, congratulations. Take us through the scenario of the night of you being elected as the vice president of the Bermuda Cricket Board.
It came around to where they were, once Arnold was elected, he was the previous vice president, so they needed to fill the spot. I was nominated from the floor, immediately second, and then someone requested for all nominations to be closed. So I ran on a pause. It happened really fast.
Before you could even say no?
Yeah, basically, yeah. But I was glad to get back on board working with Arnold and the team. We actually have our first executive meeting tomorrow evening, but we hit the ground running the very next day. The emails were coming in and Arnold and I were both in contact as well.
Yeah.
So,
when did it sink in that you were the first female to be elected as the vice president of the cricket board?
I want to say it wasn't until the weekend. On Saturday, I happened to be out and about, and one of my students came up and said, "Congratulations, Miss Smith." And I was like, oh my God. And then on Saturday, I happened to actually speak with Arnold very briefly, and he called and I said, "Good afternoon, Mr. President." He said, "Oh, you beat me too," because I was going to say, "Good afternoon, Miss Vice President." But yeah.
Take us through, how did you get started in cricket?
Well, I grew up around cricket from a very young individual, going to county games with my grandmother. I come from a family of cricketers. My grandfather, Clarence Jigger Smith, who was captain St. George's. Mm-hmm. My dad played cricket. My mom's brothers, Urban Crichton, coach, and Ralph Crichton. And then actually my son, very young, became interested in cricket. So from there, just keeping him involved in the activities. And then as we got a little older, around about the age of 9, we started traveling to the UK. And I took advantage of the opportunity of cricket camps. And his interest became more invested in cricket. And from there, it was like every year we would take a trip to the UK. He would do different camps. He's met many people, made loads of friends that he's still in contact with today. Some of them have passed through the past playing one another, university as well. And then when he actually went off to boarding school, that's when I came more involved with the board, helping out with Fiona and Neil and getting involved in different youth programs and helping out at different events, the Balco Cup, wherever I could. And, just trying to encourage more young players to get involved in the game as well.
Yeah. See, a lot of people don't understand the behind the scenes of the administration side of cricket. How difficult is it to be someone who now has to manage island-wide clubs in organizing some form of cricket, whether it be female, whether it be youth, whether it be the seniors?
Yeah, well, since I had been involved a lot with Fiona and Neil from the past, coming through it, so you learned as you go along different things and pick up, because for a lot of people didn't realize, for many years I was just involved helping out. It wasn't until 2018 was the first year I actually ran on the board for that year. Previous to that, people thought I was on the board. And I was like, no, I'm not on the board. I just help out behind. And then it's like, let me see if I can get more involved to help out with cricket. get more youth involved. I started doing the camps, and that has been very successful. The youth programs, our camps to the point. Well, due to COVID this year, we were restricted as to the numbers that we could have. But prior to that, we were oversubscribed many a times. We had to have a cutoff as well. But we've had kids that have been coming since they were 7 who are like now 10, 11. We have those frequent ones that come every year. And this year, with the way that COVID was working, we weren't sure if we were going to be able to host one, but eventually we did. And kids were calling, parents were calling to see, are you having the camp? Are you not having the camp? And then when we got clearance from the health department to have it with the limited number of kids, it filled up really quickly. And we will call every week.
Yeah. You've been involved in, like you said, the youth side, but more importantly, the female side.
Yeah.
You've been heavily involved in organizing a lot of the female camps, training, and the like. How challenging has that been over the years? Because remember, we had a women's national team, we had women playing, but that seems to have gone by the wayside. But you've picked up the mantle of trying to rejuvenate that portion of cricket in Bermuda.
Yes, we are. Actually, we started with, I just started with girls at my school, and we played an under 8s, because with girls, they could play a year level down. So, and some of them are still with me from when we first started way back in 2012. So we, some of those girls, like I said, they're older now. They still come to train. The challenge that we have with girls is that they are involved in several activities, but the ones that we do get on board and they commit, you can actually see the growth and the progress that they've made during the time from when they first entered up until now. We have some really, really, really good players out there. I don't know if you've seen a few, but Urban Remains Sana is one that you want to watch. It's quite a few. Amara Richards, Chance Godwin, Catherine Bean Rosario, she plays as well. Excellent cricketer. They're really, really, really good. And then we have some younger ones that have come on board, because we were training every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. at BHS last year and a couple of years before. And they've actually played hardball. So we have quite a few that we can push through. But like I said, our biggest challenges is with the other activities that they're involved in, but we're trying to develop the girls program and eventually the women's program. We see on the way, but then some of them come back and join because of the other activities. Yeah.
Yeah, we see in the Commonwealth, they're starting, Birmingham 2022, they're starting with the women's 10s, introducing that into the Commonwealth Games. That's kind of an incentive down the road, but obviously we have to kind of dangle a carrot for our youngsters to show them what the finish line would look like. Yeah. Right now, being that you're in as the vice president now, do you think you'll be putting a lot more emphasis in making sure they have something structurally in place down the road for them to strive towards?
That is the focus. Arnold and Stephen have been also working towards that as well. That's the biggest thing accomplishment we want to make, is to push the girls and the women's cricket, because we do have a few that are overseas, Brianna Ray and Rosie, that are actually playing. They are amazing to see from when they first left here, and to see the growth that they've made over the years, being overseas over in the UK. Unbelievable. And both of them actually play on the boys under 18 teams at their boarding schools as well. Brianna is also playing county cricket training for Lancashire's county team. So she would have actually played this year, but due to COVID, they didn't have the matches that they would normally have.
Right.
Yeah.
You've put your hand up to be an administrator at the cricket board level, but a lot of people, a lot of administrators that come to the meetings don't want to put their hand up to be a part of that. Why do you think that is?
I can't speak for anyone else, but my thing is this, if you want to see things progress and get better, then you've got to put the work behind it. And for me, it's like, if we say we're going to do this, let's get it done. What do we need to do? I mean, I don't solely rely on my decisions. We have to work together as a team, and come up and bounce off of one another's ideas, how we can get this moving, how we can actually improve the game. There is a lot of work that we still have to do. And I'm looking forward going forward with this new team to see what we can actually do. Arnold has actually a lot of great ideas, Mr. Douglas, and then we also have the club reps. So I think with everyone's ideas coming together, that we'll definitely be seeing a lot more progress going forward. There has a lot that has been done, and then there's more that we need to do to get going. Yeah.
I know for years I've watched the Bermuda Cricket Board and AGM and turnovers and all that there, but it's not a short race. It's a long-term race, because remember in 2007 we were in the World Cup, and now we're in near Division 5, if not in Division 5. But working, that's at the senior level. We played in the World Cup in the under-19s as well, and the women played. But we know to get back to that, it's going to take a country challenge of sorts to rally around not just the current players, but the players behind them. How do you plan to use your way of trying to influence people to get on board to make sure that we can get back to some sort of international recognition?
That's, we have a lot of work that, like I said, we need to do. It's not going to come overnight. It's going to take some time, but I think we definitely need to get back to where we were before. If we were at the World Cup before, we've got to say, that's where we want to go. How are we going to get there? What are we going to do to get there? And let's just get down and see what we can do, because that is the aim, to get back to the World Cup. We have to, there's a lot of things that we will have to do as a team. And I'm looking forward to working with the team. Like I said, let's see what we can do to get back there, because we definitely have to improve the level, because we have seen a decline in cricket, and it has had its challenges. But, we have to focus with the mindset. We can do it. Let's get it done. Let's see what we can do to do it. Yeah.
Well, you see Farah as the head of the associates for our region, another female. Do you have any ambitions of being the leader of the Bermuda Cricket Board?
Well, I haven't thought that far. I never thought that. I never even thought of being vice president, but it happened. Hey, I'm here, and like I said, I'm looking forward to putting in the work, supporting one another, and let's see what we can do, because we have to get back to that standard, to that 2007. That was a big accomplishment for Bermuda cricket, and it will be nice to get back there. That is the aim. But like I said, it's going to take some time, but we need all hands on deck to do it. It can't be done slowly. We have to work together. In an ideal world, you don't work alone. You always work together. So we definitely have to put in the work. And like I said, talking with Arnold and seeing things that he wants to put in place, and we'll go through the executive and discuss it as a team. So I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully we can have a repeat of 2007 some years to come. We do have a lot of youngsters coming through. I will say this summer, Arnold had about 60 players training with him, where he had to split up that because it was like every week. And I'm saying, oh, and I'm sending a message and say, oh, is this person training with you? It's like, what? No. So, to see that interest, we need to keep them involved. And, we also have quite a few players. Last year, we had 10 players that went off to boarding schools in the UK. Then we had a few more younger ones that left this year. So, and over there, the training that they're getting, the exposure to the game and having to play, and, it's probably a little bit more stricter because their standards, they're about standards they have and they enforce them. So, they knew what it would be like before they left because other boys that have been previous have shared their experience, which has been really great for the younger ones coming through. So, there are some players that we have to keep our fingers on that are really, really, really good. And then we have some that have a lot of potential that are coachable, that we can work with and develop. So, and all that basic training, we do that at the camps, the cricket etiquette. We go through all that, in the academy. The players have to sign a players charter and a players agreement. There are different things that are in place, but I think we have to make sure that that carries over to the seniors. Just because they're older players, you can't just say, okay, we started with the younger ones, and then when you get to the seniors, then it drops off. We have to make sure that that carries over right into the senior team, because if the expectations are set with the younger ones, then we want it to carry right over. So when they get up into that age group, they know what's expected of them.
Right. I know you said you guys are having your first meeting tomorrow, but do you see yourself in your new role still continuing what you were doing in your old role, making sure, organizing and all the like, or do you think you need to get someone else in to kind of push that while you're doing what is required at the vice presidency level?
I will still do both. I will help out with both. Because I like to make sure that things are running smoothly. There's also in the new rule, there are other things that we also have to look at as far as conduct, make sure that that's all in place as far as our players. That's very important at the senior level, I think. And also, because if we're enforcing it at the lower level, we need to continue to enforce it at the senior level as well. Also, I think once, at the senior level, if the players know what the expectations are, then we need to look after the players, and the players will look after the country.
True.
Yeah.
Do you feel any added pressure? I only ask that because you've had other females on the committee, such as Molly Simons, you had Cheryl Mapp, and others, but you feel any added pressure being that you're a female amongst all these men trying to make sure that your voice is just as important as there is around the table?
No, because the respect is there. So, and the thing is, when I'm there with them, like I said, we have to come to agreement as an executive. It's not because I said it or Arnold said it, this is what we're doing. It has to be something that is agreed upon by all of us. We can make suggestions, we can bounce off of one another's ideas, but because I said it does not mean that this is what we're doing and that's it. We work together. It's an agreement. It will have to be an agreement as an executive, as a team. Everyone has suggestions and different things to bring to the table, which is good. And like I said, we'll bounce over one another's ideas and see what's the best thing to put forward for Bermuda cricket.
Mm-hmm. For the young ladies, what format of cricket would you like to see them continue with as they still grow into the sport?
Well, right now, to get them going, the most overs that they've played is 20 overs. But I would like to see them to go a little further, maybe to, they're actually, no, because some of them have played 35 over. Some of them have played in mixed teams with the boys.
Mhm.
And that's because we didn't have enough girls to play to have a complete team. The most we've ever had is, I want to say 9. And then we've had some boys that will fill in with the girls and continue to play. But they will play short, and as long as they can play. They will play in the pouring rain, these girls. And that's the thing, is we need to keep them. So we definitely need to get a program in place. We need to secure a coach for them. That was our biggest challenge, is getting someone to quit. I remember commit to coaching them, because I remember our first show that we played, and they lost every game, but they had fun. They enjoyed it. Next year they played, they did so much better. Out of the 10 games they played, I think they won 6, lost 4. But they were there, they were committed, and they wanted to play. So, and then once we introduced them to the hardball, it was like, it was amazing. It was like, okay, we're out here training. They're catching these balls, tennis balls they're dropping, but they're catching the cricket ball. So I'm saying, okay, it either must have been, it's either I'm catching this ball or it's going to hit me in my head. But to see the growth, like I said, with these girls, it's amazing. But they catch on pretty quick. Training sessions, whatever instructions the coach gives them, they carry it right out. So, to see some of them, I can recall, like, some of them were afraid of batting. There were a few that would just bowl. Then we had some that were all rounders. But now, like, once we had the working with them on their weaknesses, they just carry it right out.
Right.
And then we've had some young ones that were the M1s that came in, and first time with the head ball, and it was hard ball. It was amazing to watch them. So it's like I said, we have to keep our finger on it, push the girls cricket, and try to get actually more teams. I'd like to see us at least get 4 teams, to actually play, because some of them don't mind training with boys, but then there are a few that do not want to train with the boys. They don't mind the boys filling in for a match, but they like to have their own individual training session.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, just sitting here listening to you talk, I now realize there are 2 educators as the president and the vice president of the Bermuda Cricket Board.
Yes.
You got
on there as well as a
well,
club.
yes. But you work with kids, and you see, because you're talking about the love of the game at a young age. But then we get to a certain age, and the love goes away. How do we continue that love right through to keep them as enthusiastic as they are when they're the age you're referring to?
That's the hard part, because when they get to 16, even with the boys, you see them drop off or whatever, because then some of them decide they choose a sport. Maybe they just decide they just want to stick with football, and that's it. But we have to think of something. I know last year, December actually, we tried an indoor senior girls cricket just to see what it will be like. And the turnout was actually good. We was going to do 6-a-side. We ended up doing 7-a-side. And we had girls from Cedar Bridge, Salters, BHS, Berkeley. Berkeley had a ton of girls come out, and they absolutely loved it. And we had a sponsor that sponsored it for us. And I was thinking that maybe that's something that we could start. Maybe we do indoor cricket to get the interest and then go from there. But we have to figure out something how to keep them engaged and keep them wanting to play even more. But like you said, we have to dangle that carrot. So I know last year when we spoke with Farah, she said they were looking at something to try and keep the girls engaged, because we've done the MED program, the Mothers and Daughters, which was very successful. And that was put on by ICC, and it led right up to the Women's World Cup. So it was, and we were the only country that did it for the entire 6 weeks, come to find out.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So everyone else just did it a week. And I was like, what? We were the only ones that did it every week. Here we had these mommies and daughters showing up, all different ages, but it was really, really nice. They really enjoyed it. And a lot of the moms that took part, they said it was time for them to bond with their daughter. Some of them's daughters are still playing just from that mother and daughter program.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a good initiative. But girls, you have to, like I said, you have to keep them engaged, because if not, there's other sports that, and then there's dance and gymnastics that they're involved in a lot. Yeah.
Well, I do want to thank you very much for your time.
Uh-huh.
It's been enlightening, and I'm hoping that we can, once you guys get into your meetings and you have some updates for us, we can do this again, you and the president as well as the committee, just to give Bermuda more input on what's going on for the upcoming season and years to come, because obviously that's what you guys have to look forward to.
Yes, definitely. But I'm looking forward to it. So we will be in touch.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that we can get back and get more people out playing. You know, like I said, there's a lot of young players out there that we have to keep our eye on, and we don't want to lose them. So
Definitely.
yes. But thank you very much, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Okay.
And folks, do enjoy the rest of your day.